Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again. As promised, today's Sunday, and we'll take on the fitness vlog. I've got a lot of questions here. A lot of them are interesting, a few of them are intriguing, some of them look concerning. So I think I'll start with the ones that look concerning to me. Why I call them concerning is because, much like in anything else, now be it religion, love, career, and likewise fitness, there's a there's a thin line that separates being serious to turning obsessive. So, Rick Hill, majority of questions are around the blog of how to have a perfect six-pack ab. Okay, now and you have also asked a lot of interesting questions around the proportion of biting. I don't know why. Probably it's got to do with hair, uh, folic acid, and a variety of other nutrients that you mentioned. You've also mentioned about the right proportion of protein intake according to my BMI, and okay, great. So, so in light of the limited experience that I have, okay, and I spent a little time in Mumbai. That was a few years ago, and that's where I got introduced to a very different world. Now, the majority of these folks are entertainers. They used to work for the television or work for the entertainment industry. Now, their purpose was to look presentable all the time. So you need to look perfect in front of the camera. And I understand the demands of the profession and hence their priorities. They would always prefer to have a more chiseled look to a more flexible body, because probably unless you are in action, like you're an action star or something to that tune, it probably does not matter to be as flexible as presentable. So I'm sure you folks know already, my only routine is martial art that I do. And frankly, and I'm being very sincere here, it is not obsessive for me, it is not compulsive for me. It is as instinctive as breathing is. Like, we don't make a plan to breathe unless you are a breathing expert, and I know there are benefits to it. So I'm not belittling scientific studies here. I'm not trying to go against the studies built by researchers, great nutrition experts. That is not the purpose. But honestly, my truth is my experience. Okay? So my experience tells me that I turned fitter when my workouts became a part of my life naturally. So it's as natural as brushing my teeth in the morning. So I wake up, I get ready in whatever time according to the dynamics of the day or the plans for the day, and my workout is naturally a part of that plan. It is not like I'm obsessive about it. There is a time when I want to get ready and go somewhere and do something. It was the case when I started with it, and that was some time ago. When we start with anything new, it has its own overpowering effect on our brain. I believe it happens to all of you, something of that sort. But beyond that, it was natural. So it is very important. Why I'm using the word obsessed and why I'm scared of it is, somebody has also mentioned about the increasing percentage of pesticides in food, and hence I have to take supplementation, so it makes perfect sense which one is good. And you've mentioned a lot of brand names. I don't want to advertise these guys because I don't I won't want to say that I'm against supplementation, but I have borne a lot of after effects of supplementation for the limited period when I opted for them. Okay, so as on date, I don't think they are important for somebody who does not need to draw money out of fitness, unless your career heavily depends on being accurately built, and that's where your purpose lies. It makes sense for you to invest the time, energy, spend at the expertise. Otherwise, please go with a balanced life. Okay, so for me, eating natural foods is very important. Not just natural, if you're a, unless you're a vegan, you can go for meat. It's got substantial amount of protein. You can go for things like soy. You have so many alternatives. You don't need to go back to the store and pick up something which has got concentrated isolated protein extract and all of that stuff. It is made to sound very charming, some, but it may not be as beneficial to all. Like I said, every body type responds differently to even the same kind of air. So dengue has hit the city currently. Are all of us struck by it? Not really, right? People with the weakest immunes got it first. The second wave will be people who probably contracted from someone due to proximity or various other factors. There's a lot of science that operates behind it. Please keep that in mind. The important element is that you have your favorite food. I think it really matters. Unless it is excessively unhealthy, like if your list is populated with sweet things, then probably it's not a very healthy pattern to follow on a daily basis. But at times when you want to have sweet, I would say please do have sweets, because it is important that your brain feels healthy. For your brain to feel healthy, there are chemicals involved. You need dopamine to be pushed into your system time and again to feel happy, satiated. That feeling is called feeling satiated. So it is very important. That's why we live. You wake up in the morning with a dream to accomplish something. Why accomplish? Because you want to feel good. Obsession is somewhat like this, so somewhat like this. Like if I'm religiously obsessed, you might see me wearing something of this sort. Or if I'm obsessed about my weight, you'd always have this lying somewhere around me. Now, so this weighing machine now is used for